Hi there, this is Bob Dignan coming to you in mid-January 2019 for an announcement and walkthrough about the Champaign Church app, as well as new changes that are coming out on our website. So I'm on my phone here, and you'll see that I have the CCOC app on my desktop. And the primary motivation behind this tutorial and walkthrough is we will be discontinuing the app. Sadly, we are killing the app. And so the app will be discontinued on or by February 15th. And so if you have grown accustomed to using the app for a few of its functions, keep that in mind. We'll actually be transitioning all kind of app type activity to our website. And I'm going to walk you through what that means and how to do that. So briefly, I just want to open up the app here. So I've clicked on it, and you'll notice right away there are some rather outdated graphics. There are a few links towards the top of live stream, bulletin. Towards the bottom, there's a calendar button, giving, which allows you to do electronic or bank-driven giving on a weekly basis or a recurring basis. And so we did an analysis of what the app is providing and what people are getting the most out of it, and concluded that our website could do just all those things just as much, and lo and behold, we wouldn't have to be paying a separate vendor to host this app in this way. So our effort is to consolidate resources and take one last monthly bill off of the list here and get everything into our website. So rather than, so I'm going to go back to my home screen here, and rather than talk about always, you have to go down to your web browser and type in champagnechurch.org, I actually want to show you how you might save the website as an icon on your phone. So I'm using an iPhone, iOS device, and so some of the specific buttons are going to be particular to iOS devices, but this is a functionality that can be had on Android devices. So, and I'm happy to show you or give you documentation if you're unable to kind of find those particularities for your device. Happy to walk them through with you. But as you can see, I navigated to champagnechurch.org. This is our website. It just got released a couple of minutes ago in kind of a new look and some updated layout. So I'll be walking you through that right after I show you how to save the icon. But in an iOS device, you go down to the middle button at the bottom here, that little box with an arrow, and it pulls up all sorts of different options. And one of the options, not sending it to Stephanie's MacBook Air, one of the options along the bottom should be Add to Home Screen. And so you'll notice if I click that, it comes up with a new dialog box and asks me to kind of give it a name. And it should pre-populate with CCOC. You can call this icon whatever you want, and the web address is going to be down there. And so I'm going to click Add and come back here, and I'm just going to click this and drag it to the other screen here so that we're all on the same stuff. And so now you can see I've got almost like an identical looking icon on my phone, and it's labeled CCOC, and that actually is not an app per se, if you want to get technical about it, but if I click on it, it takes me into my web browser, Safari, on my phone here, and pulls me up to champagnechurch.org. So in many ways, what we're trying to do is provide an app-like experience through the website. And so I'm on my phone here, and I can navigate the main page of the website. We're trying to keep this as streamlined as possible. If you have ideas of how front page of the website should be laid out, definitely let us know. There's lots that's still under construction, but it's release worthy. So let me go on a quick tour of the new kind of layout of the website. That way you can get to the areas and the functions that you might need the most. So we're on the home page currently. You can always navigate to the home page by clicking on the little Happy Jesus Champaign Church of Christ icon in the upper right or left of any pages. And so we are kind of scrolling down here past that first image, there's a little web form in case you're new and you want to kind of get to know more activities or have somebody reach out to you. Right underneath that is a list of bulletins, and you can see the structure kind of breaks come October, and there was none written for November, December. I think the holidays kind of got the best of everybody there. But the new structure going forward is to have a bulletin for every month of the year, and that bulletin can be edited or updated throughout the month or leading up to a certain month. So if ever you're wondering kind of what's going on currently for January-based things, you could click on the bulletin for January. And here you'll see there's some regular kind of monthly announcements. Every bulletin will continue to point people to our calendar, which I'll go over in a second, because we don't want to have to always update this separate bulletin with every single event that's going on. It's easier just to point to the calendar if you're interested in more kind of events. So this list will be a little bit more for announcements and the like. As you can see, there's an announcement here about desperate need for new mentors in the Champaign school districts, and that Carol Wood is the contact for if you're interested in learning more about becoming a mentor. Also, something new that was recently discussed in a House Church Leaders meeting is a Take Them a Meal section of the bulletin. And so this should be a constant segment that's rolling in every monthly bulletin, in which case you can go there and see what are, if any, active campaigns for taking people meals. It was discussed at that leaders meeting that there's oftentimes quite a few of these going around, and just spreading them by word isn't enough, that we could maybe centralize them. So if ever you're wondering, I wonder if there's any Take Them a Meals, I'm feeling like making somebody a meal, or I heard about somebody needing one, we'll try to update this index. And if you ever know of one that's not listed here, please email champagnechurch@gmail.com with the details of that. So if you click on either Arnold and Nancy or Pam, Mike and Pam, it'll take you to the website with all the dietary concerns and restrictions, and you can be able to go from there. So if I click on the logo on the upper left, I'll come back to the main page to see underneath that is actually a calendar. And so this is a little plugin from our Google Calendar where you can scroll and kind of find out what's going on. This is kind of a church-wide calendar, so kind of church-wide functions will be represented here. Again, if there's something that is supposed to be church-wide and you believe it to be, this is a church-wide event, what's going on, why isn't this on the calendar? Please contact one of the staff to sort out getting that on the calendar and put in there. And I'll also note that right underneath it, I tried adding a link on click here to add church calendar to your device. So actually, if you click here and open this up, it should redirect you to your phone's, let's see, I don't know why it's not working. Yeah, it should redirect you to your phone's kind of calendar. It says this website is trying to show you a calendar invite. Do you want this to happen? And yeah, I do. I want to see what that calendar invite is. Lo and behold, it's actually asking me, do I want to add these events to my local calendar on my phone? And so I'm going to go ahead and click Add All. I know it's a lot of events. And what that did was it just added to my phone all of the events associated with the Champaign Church calendar. And I could go into my calendar and sort them or optimize them, put them, I can delete certain ones if I want, I could show or hide or remove. So this is just another way for you to kind of download and integrate all of the goings on of this big calendar here. Moving further down the main page, we just have a couple of other sections. There's an About page that's still under construction. There's this scrolling frame of some social media posts that are going on. At the bottom, we've got a couple of links to various social media websites, a contact form that a lot of people write in asking about, when we meet or what's going on there. Announcements actually takes you to the page full of bulletins. So if you ever click on this, you'll get the current bulletin that's at the top, and you'll be able to go older posts to see the one before that. So this is the bulletin for October, and so on and so forth. So if I go back to the home page, you'll notice on the upper right there is 3 lines, and that is actually a sub-menu. It's a extra menu on top of all the pages across the website. And you'll notice we try to keep this real sparse. There's, again, a link to that About page, which is under construction. There's a link to the Give page, Media page, and Watch Live. And so this is where you'll want to go if you're kind of doing more, redirect. I want to use the website or the app to do something. You could go to the Give page, and that just opens up a page that looks very, very similar to the app, where you're going to actually be using a Tithely plugin, which is what the service that we use for the securing online giving. And so you can actually pick which fund you want to send this to. There are a couple of different fund types in this dropdown, and hit Donate Now. And that's going to take you through, if you've been registered with Tithely with your phone or email to do quicker giving. That's going to prompt you with your PIN number to get into that. But if you'd like to continue as a guest, you can also do that. So that's on the Give page. On the Media page, that's actually just going to fully take you to the Media website, which does get updated with any new audio that's been added. So we have here the January 13th sermon, as well as the January 13th class on Corinthians. So you just go in here to click through and listen to some audio. I will make mention that there's plenty of instructions that I could give you on how to subscribe to any of these series, either sermons or just all the audio from the church. So please do reach out to me if you would like help on subscribing to Media. So why don't I go ahead and go back to the Champaign Church website. And lastly, the Watch Live link will take you to our Facebook page. This is where we are doing all of the streaming of Sunday service.